So this one began as I went down to my favorite hangout, O'Leary's. Nice little bar and grill, just to chill. A lot of my favorite people hang out there, so why not? Went down there. I stepped in like any normal day. When I noticed something strange happening, someone new was at the bar today. And I recognized him, pretty hard not to. Kratos from God of War. Probably you've heard of him. Now, this guy really likes to keep to himself. Not even some of his biggest fans like to approach him. They're always too afraid to get near him. So I was feeling pretty ballsy, so I went up to him and I said, "Hey, Kratos, how you feeling?" He just kind of gives me a glance and says, "Another mortal here to admire me." And I said, "Well, what's not to admire?" He was like, he looks over to the bartender and orders another drink. Desmond was working, Desmond Miles. Yeah, he was working the bar that day. He and I aren't on very good terms, but that's another story for another day. So, anyways, Desmond got him his drink. It's like, he just drank it down, and I said, "So what's been bugging you?" And he just says, "Well, after I defeated Zeus at Mount Olympus, I just realized I finally got the revenge I've been looking for all these years." I said to him, "And how's it make you feel? Do you feel any better now that you finally accomplished it?" And he goes, "Well, there's nothing left. There's nothing left for me to do. I finally accomplished the revenge I had wanted. And now, what is there left to do? There is nothing. It never brought back anything I have done. My family." He kind of lowered his head a little, and I just said, "Don't feel bad about it, man. I still don't blame you." And he just says, "You really think I could take advice from you?" And I said, "Well, you don't have to take it. I'm just offering." From there he says, "Do you have any idea what it is like to have nothing left to live for?" And I said, "Well, I've been there a few times, I've been depressed." He says, "Then I hope you would realize that maybe, just maybe, that my legacy won't continue." And I said, "I don't think that's true. You have a good legacy going on. You got your new game that just came out. How's that going?" He goes, "Is that really what you care about? It's just where I've been, not where I am. Where I am is nowhere." So I replied, "Well, have you ever tried continuing? What's next?" He says, "After Zeus, there's nothing. What do you expect?" And I said, "Have you ever tried going after the Egyptians?" He replies, "The problem with the Egyptians, the problem is that there really is no point. Whatever I do just won't bring back what I felt." And I said, "Well, at least you can say you're a free man, huh?" And he says, "I guess." And I said, "Well, come back. The fans really want to see you again. You're a big favorite among the fans." He just says, "The ghost of Sparta bends the will to no mortal. I will come back whether or not you like it." And I said, "Well, chances are we're gonna like it." So then he says, "I know. And you even nominated me on your VGAs. Meaningless. It is a meaningless gesture." And I said to him, "Well, it's a gesture that we want to see you again." He did not take that well. He picked me up, lifted me in the air, and says, "I told you, the ghost of Sparta bends to no mortal." He throws me across the table, and everyone just kind of stands up and just kind of scares away. And then he just kind of raises both of his blades and says, "Let this be a lesson. So you do not understand. I will be back on my own terms, not by the will of you. You admirers are weak." So I slowly got up, tried to creep away. He threw one of his blades, slashed me across the back, and I bled out, and started blacking out too. After that, he just kind of stood over me, and then I guess someone had to take care of it. I don't know what happened after that. Last thing I remember is that I woke up in the hospital eating disgusting hospital food for a couple weeks. I tell you, then some of the nurses came by and they just patched me up, told me I was good. They were quite pretty too, you know? And so I said, well, after I'm all better, maybe we could go get a drink or something. And then she says, sorry, but we already have plans. The nurse and her associate went by. If irony would have it, Kratos stood by, grabbed both women under his arms and says, without a word, he just kind of walks away. It really sucked, I tell ya. See a lot of strange people in my travels. Come across a lot of unusual things. So I tend to see a lot of strange people in my unusual travels. And that's the truth of the matter. Thanks for watching. While I'm here, I want to give a shout out to TehSpartanRemixer. You're awesome. Thanks for doing the cool video for me. I'll put a link for that in the description. If you haven't heard of him, TehSpartanRemixer. He does, as you would imagine, Sparta remixes. If you like Sparta remixes, just type it into YouTube. But if you like Sparta remixes done well, check out TehSpartanRemixer. You won't regret it. Later.